What's up? Welcome back to another episode of the Bombing Diaries, which is funny because it's May 1st, and that's not the funny part. We made it to May, everybody. And yeah, um, I realized last month was a busy month. April was busy, busy, busy. Felt good to be productive in the sense of recording this, keeping up with this, going and hanging out at different comedy clubs, reaching out, connecting. I feel like April was definitely a connecting month, like a um, kind of just getting my face out there, meeting people, and getting back into the world of comedy, because um, I keep track of how many like mics I do and how many times I'm on stage, and I was like feeling like this anxiety feeling for the last like maybe like 4 days. Just like I feel like I'm not doing things, which I do a lot, and I have to fight myself with like thinking I'm not doing enough, and then being like, but I am doing this, and I'm working a lot, and I am going and hanging out clubs, and then go to comedy store, hang out, all this. But why am I feeling anxiety? And I'm writing. I'm writing a lot. Um, but what was it? Was the fact that I was not realizing that I I looked at my notes. I looked at my set list, see how many times I've got up. And it's crazy how fast the month went by. Because I only was able to actually really do, I think it was 3 mics, 3 times all month on stage. Like, at that point, I feel like a poser at that point, you know. People are introducing me as a comic and all this, and I say, oh, I'm doing comedy and all this and everything. And then I'm like, I did 3 times? Where did the month go? What's going on? And what happens is, a lot of the times when there's mics to be able to do, if it doesn't fit around my schedule, which gratefully I had to work a lot, which sucks. It's bittersweet. Work a lot, so that's, keeps me able to keep living this life. But with that comes the mics that I would do are usually, middle of the evening, not like early evening-ish, I guess. Or if I do shows, it's still, mid, like 8, 7 p.m., something like that. So, and I've been working a lot. I've been working gratefully 5, 6 days a week. So any of the times I am going to go, I can do like a mic. Sometimes they have them at 1 or noon. That is where I have to realize, okay, I got to figure out whether or not I am being lazy about that, because it is driving. Gas is expensive, but driving out of my way completely, looking for parking, which is a pain, to then go do that. So I might have to just bite the bullet and do that this month when it comes down to it, because I can't do another time where I'm only doing 3 mics, especially if it's busier, because I am working more, because saving up money for different trips. But with that comes time where I can't do mics, and it sucks. And if that anxiety gets me, it definitely, like, I don't know if it's anxiety, I don't know the word for it, but it builds up inside of me where I'm like, okay, why do I feel this way? Like, just anxious and just like, and almost then I get not angry, but like definitely things get to me more, because I'm not able to do actually what I want to do and love and almost express myself. Which is great. I'm at work. I'm having fun at work as well, and once I get to work, but it's the lead up to it where I'm like, okay, I wish I could. I have a lot of things written down that I could work on, especially on stage, and I haven't. And then when I actually sat down to reassess, like I do every month, how my month went, and saw that it had only been really 3 times. Now, out of those 3 times, one of those times was the show I had to drop in on, which was great. That was I think a very small but big monumental moment for me, especially getting back at this, because it showed that I can do it, and it gave me that the energy boost for that confidence. But now that's been even 2 weeks now, and I'm just like, okay, well, I still haven't gone on stage. I haven't had time to. This week I'm hoping to do. I'm not working, I think, Thursday. So I'm hoping to do a few spots of just mics to just work on the material, so I can then say that I can do it, because now it's getting to that point where I'm like, okay. And I think I'm so worked up about not wanting it to be like, okay, it's been 2 weeks. Okay, it's been 3. Okay, it's been a month. All right, now it's been 3 months. Oh, 6 months. Oh, another 2 years, 3 years goes by and I haven't done it. I am taking the little bit of like, cool, I'm still going out there. I'm still networking. I'm still writing, making the money what's come first, but also, so not letting it get to me, but I'm being honest, it's getting to me. And so I really want to, again, even if I can just do one a week. And I think a lot of, when I first started, I did, was doing 2 to 3 mics a day, 5 days a week for almost over a year. So it's like now seeing I only get like 1 mic a week, or now I got 3 in the whole month. But it reminds me of when I hear stories about how people used to do mics and got started where they only had 1. Like when comedy wasn't big, huge. It was you do 1, you got on stage once a week if you're lucky. And with that, making it count, So I do the writing, I do the back end of it. So then when I do get on stage, I am prepared and I am ready. When I would do it constantly every single day, I was kind of just throwing things at the wall, whatever came to me, and just seeing what would get it. And just because I was constantly trying to come up with new material, because the people I was doing in front of were about the same people, or it's, so I'm constantly trying to make them laugh with new stuff, which is a good trait to have as well. So I take that by keep writing every day. So then when I am going on stage, then I have a whole list of things. So then I can go bang it out. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm open this Thursday, let's say. I can go to this mic and then this mic and then this mic, maybe do 2 mics at this one spot and then go here, and that way I can just flesh it all out. But definitely it's been an experience for me. I am grateful for it. At the same time, being back on, it's been, I'm going to say March, April, May. It's been almost 3 months, I think, since I've started back. So again, I'm not beating myself up that much, but definitely I want to keep the momentum going, and just honestly be prepared when the moment comes. When opportunity comes, I want to be prepared for it, and kind of like I was a few weeks ago. So again, this is again about the journey. So there wasn't really much bombing going on except for the bombing of in the sense of I bombed at getting on stage, at the actual act of it. But this week will be crazy. It'll be good. I mean, I again hope to get on some mics, but we are now in this next week and a half of Netflix is a joke. So tons of shows going on for everybody else. I mean, big name comics are in LA now visiting just for it, performing at everywhere from the Forum to Hollywood Bowl to, smaller venues even, Comedy Store, Laugh Factory, the Improv. There's shows all over the place. So even the other night, at the beginning of it all, it's like you could tell it's going to be a crazy week because usually it's not too busy. By the time I get to the Comedy Store late at night on like a Tuesday, you might have roast battles, that crowd, but it's not crazy. It was crazy this last Tuesday. So many people. Like parking was hard to find even late at night. And we're talking like almost 11 p.m. And it was busy till, 2 o'clock, 2 a.m. Like people were still there. Like it was packed. Killer lineups. So definitely it's going to be a crazy week, I'm sure. Steve Simone, my buddy Steve Simone's in town. He's coming in to hang out. And you have just people all over. So I'm excited just to be in that experience, whether I am on stage or not. Just enjoy this next week and a half of, again, I'm working a lot. So it'll be a lot of working, a lot of going, hanging out. So while at the same time writing. And then if I can, figure out getting on stage as well. But yeah, it's going to be a fun week. So if you're in LA, for sure, go to one of these shows. I mean, they're all very expensive, especially these bigger ones at like the Hollywood Bowl and stuff like that. I think even like a lot of of course, Netflix is a joke. So they have the roast of Tom Brady is this weekend. I think Cat Williams is doing his live as well. It's like the second time they've done a live stand-up special. So yeah, it'll be a fun time, especially be in this moment, busy for sure for LA all around. And let me see. What is this? It's also Cinco de Mayo this weekend. I mean, that in itself, like, usually I'm working, but now I'm not. I mean, it's on a Sunday, so we'll see what goes down that day. We're gonna have a little get together at the house and enjoy ourselves. Probably go get some Mexican food somewhere. It's funny because normally I wouldn't do it, but it's like it's also fun to do every now and then. I mean, I've probably done something for Cinco de Mayo maybe one time ever in my life. I've usually worked it, like I said. So going and doing adding to the whole amateur hour, Cinco de Mayo and St. Patty's Day and stuff, and going and being those people who go to the cliche places. But, it's doing it from time to time. It's a fun experience. So I'm looking forward to that. Maybe make some margaritas around the house. Have some dip. We'll see. We'll see what's going to happen. And then that was a mic. My mic thingy just broke off. Anyways, hold on. Yeah, look at this. Broke off. What the heck? I don't even know what that goes to. There you go. See? It's all live. It's not edited. So what else? Yeah, again, it's hard to do the update. I mean, that's why I'll just kind of be real with you as far as what I'm doing, and how I feel kind of behind on things. Definitely get more confidence in the announcing myself as a comic, but it is tiptoeing around it, being like 3 times, guys, 3 times only. Even when people hear oh, you're going to go hang out at the comedy clubs, or you're going to go do this. Oh, let me know when you have a show. It's like, yeah, I'll let you know when I have a show. I mean, I'm still figuring out myself. I don't really like to talk about things until it happens. But even this is more of a diary, and it's not something I'm fully promoting, except, on a little bit social. But other than that, it's like word of mouth. And I just want, it's to keep me accountable. But also not being so hard, knowing that, we do got to make money. Because you have the other hand, you have people who are doing mics constantly. You have people who are constantly getting stage time. You have people doing that, and they are killing it in our eyes. But then they can't afford their rent. They can't afford to eat. They can't afford, and then they're hurting, then they're hurting mentally even more so. They're hurting physically, mentally, spiritually at that point, because they're making you laugh. They're doing what they want to do. But then it's every week, it's am I going to be able to afford even, parking, to be able to park, to go to the show that I am performing at, Because until you're a big name, even if you are performing all the time and you're constantly having shows, you're not getting paid great. That's the thing. That's the point. It's right now grateful for the jobs that I do have that allow for me to be in the areas of these comedy clubs to allow me to even go hang out afterwards. If I wasn't working at certain places nearby and I couldn't be in driving distance and it's on my way home, I probably wouldn't even be doing that. If I didn't work, let's say, in Hollywood and I still lived in the Valley or something, or if I worked in the Valley, I wouldn't be getting off and driving all the way over to Hollywood. I wouldn't do that. So grateful for that, being able to be in that situation to just go and hang out and get my face out there and meet people and connect, while still making money to survive and still live out here. And so I have to all the time be grateful for that and just know, what can I do today? What are the things I am in control of? What is the things I can control myself that allow for me to keep pushing forward? I talk about it all the time where I say, with the type of personal development stuff and the action steps, what 3 things can I do today that I am in control of, that help me push towards my goals. So with this, it's well, what can I do? Well, I couldn't do a mic today because, even the mic I was going to go to, there's only going to be 2 people there. So that's not worth it. You want at least a good 7 people for it to be somewhat worth it. Otherwise, you're just hanging out with friends. I might as well just go to work and try my jokes out on my coworkers. But, which I do that. And so, but with that, it's what can I do? What am I in control of? So I can write. I can write. I can watch comedy specials to even learn, because I've been doing it a lot. I feel like I'm very much in the last 2 months being studying a lot, seeing maybe even the same comics perform their same sets but with new audiences, and seeing how they adapt and see how they interact and see how this in crowd work. And I've been really honing on that and just taking all of what I can learn from it. It's funny, like I jokingly say I'm not a door guy, but when they say like people who are door guys at the store or anything, they are the ones who like just sit there and they're learning and they're watching. They get maybe a little stage time each week. For most time, they're just connecting and they're watching and they're watching and they're learning. And I feel like I'm doing that. I'm just not getting paid for it, So I'm like, if that's all I can do, then I can do that. So what do? Let's say today, I go to work and I go hang out at the store and I learn and I watch. I connect. That's one thing. Connection. Boom. That's one action step towards that. Second action step, I'm watching. I'm honing it all in. And watching it with that. Like I watch people and sometimes I'll close my eyes and hear their inflection and hear how they talk. And if there's laughter, there's sometimes I'll even, I'll go outside and I'll watch through the window like a creeper, but just to see the audience laughing and to see like how their mannerisms are and see, okay, there's something they're doing there. And then I'll go back in and watch the whole thing and see how it all connects. So that is another thing that I can do. And then also doing, keeping this kind of diary of my journey to then look back on. Those are 3 things that kind of push me forward each week. And then kind of tomorrow, like I said, tomorrow my 3 things will probably be doing mics. That's what my main thing is for tomorrow. I definitely want to do mics. Mics, writing, and I don't think go hang out at the store possibly, but mostly it'll be just doing mics. And then, over the weekend working, and then maybe hanging out at the store as well. Like I said, buddy Steve Simone's in town, so definitely for that. And grateful again for friends at the Comedy Store like Miranda Meadows and Anthony Amorello, like just welcoming in, especially Anthony, introducing me to people. Very grateful for that. And so that's what I can do each day and not be so hard on myself and know like I am working this job that allows for me to afford where I live, my house, my roof, be able to afford paying for parking, those things. Then allows for me, so when the moment does come and I am able to get on stage, boom, I'm able to really hone in on it, do everything I've watched and learned from, and then when the day comes when it's like, hey, you want to be on the show, or hey, you want to drop it, I'm ready for it. And it's not just like, oh, yeah, I said I was a comic, and what did you do? Well, I watched a few Netflix specials, Watched a few Netflix specials. Someone said it was funny, have you been on stage ever? No. Do you even write? What are you talking about? This just allows for me to do every day at least little things that allow for me when that moment hits, when opportunity knocks, I am ready to answer it. Whether when I answer it, it's with I'm able to nail it, I feel like it gives me more chance when opportunity knocks to actually have a great experience rather than not, I think it's what do they say? Luck or something like that is just when, I could be wrong. I can't remember. But luck is just when work or something like that, or practice meets opportunity or something like that. Again, don't quote me on it. It's what I thought of. I just forgot it. But it's something like that, and that's really what it is. It's when all the practice you did leads up and opportunity knocks and you are ready for it. Okay, well, this was great. I didn't know what I was going to talk about today, and this ended up being the longest episode, I think, so far. So thank you guys for listening. Follow, share if you like. Comment, message me if what you want to hear. If there's questions you have, like for that I can maybe answer, let me know. And I hope you have a great first week in May. And I'll see you next time. All right. Peace.